In this video, you'll learn about conditional statements and how they help our apps make decisions about what should happen during operation. A fundamental aspect of any useful program is conditional logic. In plain speak, it's like telling your friend, if we're hungry during the football game, let's buy some food. In programming terminology, it equates to checking if a certain event or condition equals a certain value and then performing a particular action, or not performing it, based on the condition or conditions. The most basic conditional statement is the if-then statement. The Lua syntax is simple. If condition, then perform an action. Notice that this conditional statement, and all conditional statements in Lua, conclude with the term end. This tells Lua that the statement is complete and there are no further conditions to check. Here's a more realistic example of a conditional statement. If subtotal is greater than 100, then discount equals 0.1 or 10%. Simply put, this statement checks if the value of the variable subtotal is greater than 100. If so, then the value of the variable discount is set to 0.1. One final note on this syntax. The parentheses surrounding the conditional statements are optional. Many developers feel that it makes conditional statements more readable, but you can omit them if you like. Before we discuss more advanced conditional statements, let's review the relational operators in Lua. Almost all conditional statements require an operator to compare one variable or value against another. In Lua, these operators are as follows. Equal is equal to, tilde equal is not equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. The first two of these, equal or equal to, and tilde equal or not equal to, can be used to compare essentially any variable or value type against another. The following instances will all result in a true condition. If 5 is greater than 3, if 5 is greater than or equal to 5, if orange is equal to orange, if orange is not equal to apple, if apple is not equal to 3. In contrast, the following examples will result in a false condition. If 5 is equal to 3, if orange is equal to apple, if orange is not equal to orange. Note that comparison between string values are also case sensitive. The following will result in a false condition. If orange with a lowercase o is equal to orange with an uppercase O. Of course, all of these examples are basically for illustrative purposes and aren't very realistic in a project. Most often, you'll be comparing one variable to another variable or a value. This was exhibited in the very first example that we studied. If subtotal is greater than 100, then discount equals 0.1 or 10%. You can also compare variables to other variables. If item price is greater than account balance, then print you don't have enough money in your account. Now let's inspect the remaining four relational operators. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. These work in a similar fashion to equal to and not equal to, with one important difference. You must compare numerical values if you use any of these operators. Since Lua variables are dynamically typed and can be one of several types, you must be careful when you compare values using these four operators. For example, the following conditional statement assumes that item price is a number. If item price is greater than 95.10, if item price is not a number, meaning it's a value type of string, you'll receive an error because Lua is attempting to mathematically compare a string to number. In this case, trying to determine if one value is greater than another. Let's inspect the difference. A good example is local item price equal 96.00 as a number, and then compare item price greater than 95.10. An error will occur if we use the same example and assign item price the value 96.00 as a string, and then try to compare item price greater than 95.10. But wait a minute, why does the second example produce an error? Because sometimes the insignificant things are most important. In the second case, item price is actually a string value because we declare it as a string. The quotes indicate so. When using mathematical condition operators, it's your responsibility to ensure that you're comparing one numerical value against another. Now let's expand on the basic if-then conditional statement. A common requirement in conditional logic is to perform a default set of commands if the initial condition fails. This is accomplished with the else condition. All you need to do is place this after your initial if condition as follows. If condition 1, then execute one or more statements or commands, else execute the default statements or commands. In this case, the statement within the else condition will always execute if the first condition fails. Finally, we can expand on the if-then-else method with the else-if condition. This allows you to conduct a series of checks, one after the next, in top to bottom order. In this structure, the else-if condition is tested only if the if condition fails, and if the else-if condition fails, the else condition is executed as the default, assuming you provided it. Here's a quick example. If subtotal is greater than 200, then discount equals 0.2. Else if subtotal is greater than 100, then discount equals 0.1. Else discount equals 0. In this case, the variable discount will only be set to 0.1 if the subtotal is greater than 100, but less than 200. If both cases fail, discount will be set to 0 as the default else condition. Note that you can build multiple else if statements, as many as you need in fact. Just be careful to structure them in the correct priority, since the entire else if series will stop when a particular condition is met. Sometimes it's necessary to place a conditional statement within another one. This is referred to as a nested conditional statement. In this case, the nested statement will only be evaluated if the first condition is true. For example, if subtotal is greater than 500, then discount equals 0.25. If customer ID is equal to employee, then discount equals 0.35. Else if customer ID is equal to management, then discount is equal to 0.5. Conditional statements can consist of multiple cases joined by the terms and or. These are useful if you want to test that all conditions in a series are true using and, or test that any condition in a series are true using or. If food type is equal to fruit and food color is equal to red, then print, "This is a red fruit." And here's an example of using or to test for any case in a series. If food type is equal to fruit or food type is equal to vegetable, then print, "This is either a fruit or a vegetable." Finally, for advanced cases, you can nest multi-case sets within parentheses. The following example checks that a particular food type is 1. A fruit, and 2. It's either red or green in color. If food type is equal to fruit and food color is equal to red or food color is equal to green, then print, "This is a fruit and the color is either red or green." And that's a look at how to work with conditional statements in Lua and Corona SDK. Learn more about conditional statements in Dr. Brian Burton's book, Learning Mobile Applications and Game Development with Corona SDK, available from www.burtonsmediagroup.com/books.